Okay, I'm very happy to have the opportunity to present the Camelot project to you this afternoon. And I'm involved in this project as associate partner, and both Carol, who is here, can you just move forward? And I have been involved in assisting with some tasks in this project. Yeah, here Carol is in this beautiful light blue dress. So like the university
Hi everyone.
like the university project, Camelot is based on the findings of some previous successful projects like the Avalon and Lancelot and others, and you see both Gary and myself wearing the Avalon t-shirt, whereas Gary's t-shirt is much cleaner than mine, so I have to give it to the cleaning lady in World. Anyway, as I'm involved in both projects, I can clearly see the links and potential synergies. So, what is the Camelot project about? It is about language learning with machinima, and Camelot stands for Creating Machinima Empowers Life Online Language Teaching and Learning. And Camelot is a 3-year EU-funded project which started in the end of 2013 and will finish in 2015. So there are 9 countries involved in the project. The UK as lead partner, then Turkey, Czech Republic, Poland, Germany, Belgium, and the Netherlands. The aims and objectives of the Camelot project are firstly to create and test machinima that are designed to promote language learning, intercultural exchange and digital literacy skills among the participants. Secondly, the machinima created during the project will be stored in open access repositories, enabling language learners, instructors, and teacher trainers to use or reuse and share them during the life cycle of the project and beyond. And there will also be guidelines about how to create machinima in immersive environments. Another aim of the Camelot project is to create an online community of practice around the machinima, promoting their benefits among a broad cross-section of educational sectors. Camelot also aims to raise awareness of creative and flexible forms of learning and the potential of immersive virtual environments to promote telecollaboration and networking between educators across the EU. The video recordings aim to promote intercultural communication and opportunities for learners from different cultures to co-produce digital artifacts that can be shared and, as said before, reused. Camelot aims to explore the role of visual communication techniques to support language conversation in relation to digital environments that younger learners in particular utilize to great effect outside traditional learning environments. Camelot will contribute to changing the previous field of operation by demonstrating how machinima can lead to genuine communicative acts that take place at a distance. And an important aspect in the Camelot project is that it will foreground the importance of stimulating language learning in less commonly used European languages. Yeah, and last not least, the Camelot project also promotes teacher training and teacher autonomy and professional development, prompting reconsideration of the role of instructors and how they provide a blended approach that facilitates and guides language learning rather than adopting an overly prescriptive approach. And another important aspect of the project is, of course, like for all or any EU project, is the dissemination of good practice via a range of channels. Now, I've been talking about machinima so far, and I think during the morning session you have already seen a number of machinimas that have been demonstrated. However, just to make sure we are on the same grounds, machinima is a technique for making videos of films from 3D virtual spaces using screen capture programs and video editing software. Since I started with creating machinima, I became really passionate, and I've created over 80 machinimas since, together, most of them together with Carol Rainbow, who is standing here almost next to me. So I spoke about dissemination, and when presenting machinima at numerous conferences and to colleagues, I realized that there are still a great number of organizations and individuals who are very skeptical about learning and teaching in virtual worlds. And well, they are even reluctant to get involved. And in order to share the potential of teaching and learning in virtual worlds, and to familiarize colleagues and teachers and learners in the physical world with what virtual worlds can offer, and to get more people engaged in virtual worlds, Carol and I produced a series of machinima, and the first machinima, that is why learn and teach in virtual worlds, and Eleanor, who's around here, has been involved in the making of it too. So why did we produce this series of machinima? That was with the aim to promote and highlight the benefits of learning in virtual worlds, and to give instructions on how to get set up and started with Second Life, and then to demonstrate what can be achieved by the learners, and also to encourage learners and facilitators to get involved in virtual learning. So my belief is that it is never too late to learn something new, and this is what I devoted machinima to, which was produced specifically to encourage people, and in this case older people and people with disabilities who are not able to travel far or are housebound, to get involved in virtual worlds and maybe learn a language or visit other countries and meet people to talk to. In virtual worlds, we heard about the looks of avatars, but in virtual worlds the avatar, the graphical representation of the computer user, does not show, unless you wish to do so, one's age or impairment. And Carol is going to put link into the chat box, and I would appreciate if you had a look at this short machinima. It's only 90 seconds, and then before I will go on. Thank you. Thank you, Carol. I don't know if you can post that in Adobe as well, Carol or Gary. That would be great.
No one is too old to learn something new.
Es ist nie zu spät, etwas Neues zu lernen.
Look, Granny has got a new laptop.
Смотри-ка, у бабушки новый ноутбук. Ее интересует Second Life.
What's this new computer? It looks very exciting. I'd love to try.
Yes, it is very exciting, you know. I can show you to go to places and go through Second Life, and I can show you how to fly and all that.
But you know how I am. I'm a bit unsteady these days. I can't walk far.
Well, you don't have to walk. We can fly through the computer and Second Life. I can show you, take you to wonderful places, and you don't have to walk at all. We can meet other people and talk to them, you know.
That sounds wonderful.
I mean, your French is a bit rusty, but we can go to Paris and you meet people there in the streets and you can talk to, and they are all very friendly, you know.
That will be exciting.
Would you like that, darling?
I would love that. I will give it a try.
Cool. Yeah, so
Et ole
let's go.
koskaan liian vanha oppimaan jotain uutta.
So, I should think the 90 seconds should be over. I didn't check it, but I suppose so. Sometimes 90 seconds are shorter than others, or longer. And, yeah, what we noticed with when working with machinima and creating machinima, we realized the importance for machinima to demonstrate things like instructions or giving information, different documentaries, and also I used it for preparing my language sessions for my German classes. I teach German in virtual worlds. So the contents of the machinima created, they are kind of different videos on how to do things, and sometimes they are little narratives and stories, sometimes they are role play, and as here we do a lot of machinima practicing typical situations that could be practiced much better in world than in real life, than have it like for example an airport situation, or going shopping at a boutique Renoir here in this case. And Gehilde, who's around here, might share that we had some real fun in an Italian course for beginners where we choose clothes for each other and then dressed up in the changing room. And I mean, you could not do that in real life in the same way. So it's quite interesting to see that virtual worlds or working in virtual worlds seems sometimes more authentic, as Cal at one stage said, than in real life situations. So one idea, here for example there are some pictures of videos or machinima made. The one Avalon Island flooded, that was created because of alarming people, the owners of the island, that there was something totally wrong and that somebody just flooded it, and so it was, we made it as nice little machinima. Or you have a machinima on instructions, and that was an instruction how to set up a presentation board in Second Life, and the next one we will talk about in a minute. So one idea to get more people into virtual worlds is that we are going to offer, that is we as Gehilde and I, guided tours which will get started this month and will be scheduled twice a month, one for beginners in virtual worlds and one for advanced people, where we will visit various places, and they are allocated on Avalon Island. The machinimas that I've created so far are most of them in German and English, and just to give you a flavor of one machinima I created with Gerhilde only recently. This is an informative video explaining a sculpture garden which talkedemy produced. Gehilde offers. And the interesting thing was, I had been to this sculpture garden, but I didn't have a clue what to do with it. And in this small video, which Carol is going to put into the chat, you can see, I mean, you don't have to see the whole video, but just the start of a video and a bit of it. And after you have watched this, Gerhilde, Carol and I will lead you around in the real sculpture garden, and you see it in real in Second Life. Okay, just have a look for, let's say, 1 minute into the sculpture garden video. Thank you. What we have here is the sculpture garden, and I would like you to explain what it is used for. You said for language classes. How can you use that kind of thing for a language class?
We use this for mainly in the first session in the getting to know you activity. And we bring our students here, we encourage them to walk around in pairs to explore what's going on here. Most of the sculptures are somehow interactive. So you can click on them and then they change. For example, this fist here, or well, the shower, of course, and so you can stand here and enjoy being showered by dollar notes.
Oh, I would love that in real life.
Oh well, just have a try. It's a great feeling. Yeah, I think that the grilled hearts are not interactive. Encourage them then to pick one of the sculptures and explain to the group why they picked this one, why they liked it most, and maybe there is something in relation to themselves. For example, here, this one, my favorite, it says, don't click the cheese. And of course, what all the students do is they click the cheese, which means that then, well, of course, they are trapped by...
Okay, I think we can finish with watching the film here, even if you haven't finished watching it. And to round the whole thing up, what actually, coming back to Camelot, the project, is what those partners of the 9 countries are doing at the moment is that they are looking for machinima that are suitable and creating machinima for testing that are suitable for teaching in their various language like Turkish, German, English, Czech, and create machinima that are suitable for specific classes which have been chosen. So at the end of the testing phase, which will be end of June, there will be about 25 machinima to be tested, and they are working from all different, or they are using all different areas, as mentioned before. Some are more intercultural, some are grammar teaching, machinima, and so forth. Is there anything you would like to add to that, Carol, before we come to the sculpture garden and walk around in it?
Well, perhaps just about machinima from a teaching point of view, because obviously we're involved in this project and everybody's going to be making machinima, but from a teaching point of view, they're really, really engaging and motivating for the students. If you think to any student you've ever taught, or even yourself, when do you make sure that something is absolutely perfect? When do you make sure the pronunciation's perfect, the grammar's perfect, the language is perfect? And it is, of course, when you're making a presentation. So if you think about the students, when do they make sure something's perfect? And it's when they've got an audience. So if students actually get to make the machinima themselves, they have an audience, they have a purpose, a reason to really polish things up. Yes, masses of learning when students make, because there's lots and lots of conversation about how it's going to be made, what's going to happen, who, where, when, all the props, all the costumes. So all of this is discussion, and you have to insist, of course, it's in the target language. But then for the actual machinima, the speeches or the script, whatever, or the narration, whatever's being said is going to be perfect, because they're sharing it publicly, so other people are going to hear it and see it. So it's such a wonderful teaching tool that we are very passionate about it.
Yeah, and it's yeah, and it's also what I find a very, very good tool for analysis, so that students look back on what they have produced, reproduce things, and of course also analyze the language used and how it's used, and you know, just work on it then later. And the tutor has or facilitator has a good overview of where the pitfalls are, and where, you know, it's and it's so more or less individualized, I think. Would you agree with that, Carol?
And a wonderful assessment record, a wonderful record of what people have done over a year,
Yeah,
if you keep
yeah.
them at various stages.
Yeah. Okay, are there any questions from the audience before we walk over to Gerhilde's sculpture garden? I can't see the chat at the moment, so if there's anything
No
in chat,
questions,
you might
no.
want to read it, Carol.
8-Bit says there's probably a lot of learning that happens when students
Oh,
make the
okay.
machinima for a topic. And yes, okay, but there aren't any questions here or in the Adobe room, so we'll carry on.
Okay, then everything is crystal clear. That's perfect. So let's walk over to and Gehilde has the lead to lead us into the sculpture garden. Okay, thank you, Gehilde.
Well, so please come over here. I guess you have already watched the video, so there's not that much to explain. Just enjoy the interactive sculptures, see which one you like best. Remember not to click the cheese, of course. I know you all will. And those who haven't watched it until the end oops. What was that?
Oops.
Can try to find out what the eye in the middle does. Okay, what's going on here? Maybe we're out of frames. Let me check.
It's wonderful. I have.
So Carol is being kissed by the eye. That's quite interesting. So the eye loves you, Carol.
I'd like one of these. Yeah, I'd like one of these in real life.
Well, I went there with my German course, and I asked my students what they expected that I had them choose one of the items they liked best, and then I asked them which item they thought I liked best, and they all said the burning hearts. And I thought, I had no clue why.
The money shower, I think that's fantastic.
And yeah, that's what was my favorite, because, and then they said, and we had a discussion in German then, because the student said, yeah, but you will stay dirty because if it rains dollars and you can't really shower. And I said, I'd rather stay dirty and have money than be clean with no money and things like that. So I mean, it's quite interesting, the discussions that evolve from it, which I had not expected when I walked around the first time without the students. And you go to things together, you discuss them, whether they like them and what they do and so on. So quite a bit of language is involved, and fun, So in the mouse trap? Yeah, it's really fun. Okay.
Yes,
So,
amazing.